What up? What up? Hey, before we jump into this week's show, let me ask you something real quick. What would you do if I sent you $100 cash money? No strings, straight from my pocket to your pocket. Because that's exactly what we doing here at Football is Money. We are launching the Football is Money cash giveaway. And I'll give you all the details before the end of the show. All right, so make sure you stay tuned in to your chance at winning this money. All right, moving on. So here's the real question now, though. The Super Bowl is over. The awards are out, MVPs and all that, and the headlines are very loud. But what actually moves the market right now? Because this is the most misunderstood part of the NFL calendar. This is when coaching changes quietly shift the pace. Futures get mispriced. And fantasy ADP starts forming before people even realize it. Most people check out right now. Really. But this is when sharp players actually lean in. So on this episode, we're not recapping trophies. We're talking about what changes matter and what changes doesn't, and where the early edge actually is. This is Football is Money. I'm your host, they call me Boss, and let the show begin.
Motion left to right, or nothing there. Now he tries to run, breaks a tackle, dives for the end zone, fumbled the football, left sideline, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, touchdown!
Yeah, here we go! Wait, take...
Throws back of the end zone, there's C.D. Lamb!
Unbelievable!
We're back. You're listening to Football is Money on footballismoney.com. Here's your host. They call me Boss.
All right, so, we're going to talk about lessons, and let's start with the most recent lesson, because every Super Bowl leaves a lesson. Most people chase the storyline, though, but smart players study the pattern, and you got to see what decided it. Was it mistakes? Because the quarterback who protected the ball won. The team that stayed disciplined won. The team that avoided self-inflicted errors won the football game. That's not flashy. It's repeatable, though, So going forward, value clean quarterbacks. Fade reckless aggression in high leverage moments. Big games come down to who makes fewer mistakes, not who makes bigger highlights. So don't chase the noise. Study what holds up under pressure. All right, so and once you understand what actually wins in February, you can start identifying who's mispriced in March. Because the market always reacts to the results. So let's talk about early futures and mispriced teams, because this is when futures get lazy. The books open Super Bowl odds off of last year's record, playoff visibility, and public perception, right? But perception isn't projection. So before you putting in your futures, you have to ask these questions. Did this team overperform in close games? Did injury luck swing their season? Was the schedule soft? Is regression coming? These are very, very viable questions that need to be asked when you're putting in these future tickets. And on the flip side, you got to ask, did a team lose multiple one-score games? Did they quietly upgrade coaching? Did the metrics outpace the record? That's where value hides. The public bets what they just watched. Sharp money bets what's about to happen. It bets what's about to change. Futures aren't about picking the champion. They are about beating the number before it moves. All right? And that's smart behavior. And that's the difference between reacting and positioning. Because right now, the gap isn't about information, it's about attention. For the majority, the public has checked out. Smart players leaning in. They not arguing rankings. They not debating mock drafts. They are tracking coaching hires. They are watching coordinator changes. They studying early win totals, monitoring future movement, noting which teams are quietly rebuilding their structure. They asking which offenses are about to change pace, which defense are due for regression, which quarterback just gained protection or weapons, which teams are one move away from a jump. Most importantly, they are comparing perception versus projection. The market prices what happened. Edges come from pricing what's about to happen. That's the offseason. That's where separation starts. And all of that leads to the most important early signal of all, coaching. Because philosophy shapes everything before the public notices. The Super Bowl is over. Free agency hasn't started, trades haven't exploded, but the sharp move right now, coaching carousel. When a team hires a head coach, they're hiring identity, pace, usage, aggression, right? Run heavy or pass heavy, slow tempo or high volume, conservative or fourth down aggressive, right? And that affects totals, spreads, fantasy roles, red zone distribution, so the books open early lines based on last year's identity every year. And if the philosophy changes, the number lag, okay? That's the edge. You don't react in September, you position yourself right now. In March, February, in the spring, getting ready, right? That's exactly why the coaching carousel isn't off-season noise. Every hire is a declaration of identity. Some teams are telling you that they want pace. Some teams are telling you that they want defense. Some teams are telling you that they are protecting the quarterback at all costs. And the moment that philosophy is locked in, fantasy usage is going to shift. And the betting lines will follow. So let's zoom in. Let's zoom into the head coaching carousel. I'm joined by Sabertooth Tony, who's been tracking every move, every opening, and every signal teams are sending right now. Tony, what's the latest, my boy?
2026 NFL head coaching carousel. End of the season ain't over with, and we still waiting on the finalization from Clint Kubiak and the Raiders. Look like Pete Carroll is gone. He out the door. Everybody got some new, fresh blood coming in. It's about 10 new head coaches. I don't know what these teams gonna do. The interesting one, most interesting of all of them, is the Steelers. Mike McCarthy. I don't know what they're going to do with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy want to get back together again. They had a divorce already in Green Bay, so I'm sure Mike McCarthy going to get his payback, get Aaron Rodgers on out the door. Aside from that, they got a new coaching carousel over there in the Ravens, too. Jesse Minter, one of the newest black coaches in right now. He might be one of the only black coaches right now. We got the guy from the Jets, didn't do too good. Aaron Glenn, he pretty good on defense, but they going to have to get it together, though. They got rid of everybody for draft picks, so he going to have to go in the draft room and hit a home run. The Cardinals, they got rid of Jonathan Gannon for Mike LaFleur. I guess that's Matt LaFleur's brother bringing it in, trying to compete with the Harbaugh brothers over here in New York Giants. John Harbaugh, man. I don't know what y'all think John Harbaugh going to do with the Giants, but they did pretty good with Jackson Dart. He ran the ball. They got a young stable of running backs that they've been holding on to, and I already know John Harbaugh going to bring in some running game for the Giants. It's going to be hard up on the Cowboys just when it was their time to, look up into it. The Falcons got rid of Raheem Morris. They was tired of that, so they want to get tired of Kevin Stefanski because he ain't that much better. I don't think so. He ain't that much better. Looking at the record, looking at the system that they brought in, maybe offensively they needed some help. They can keep some key pieces that they had on defense. They might be in position to compete for the division. It's a weak division, and we don't know who's going to do it, but we know that they got Baker Mayfield. He ready to take it, every year. Robert Saleh, he coming back as a head coach, taking over as another defensive titan, the Titans head coach. Whew, that's going to be a challenge. I hope he get him an offensive coordinator for Cam Ward. Cam was just getting warmed up, taking hits, taking sacks, learning how to win a game. I don't know if Robert Saleh can help him with that. On defense, he can help him with that. Yeah, he can sustain a couple leads, but they're going to have to score some more points. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to need some receivers. They got Tony Pollard back there, Najee Spears. Them boys pretty good. Yeah, Mike McCarthy, back to him, man. That's a I don't know. It's going to have to be a home run or a coaching blunder. This like one of the most prestigious brands, the Steelers, and they went and brought in Mike McCarthy. They got a cultural revolution going on up there. It's been Mike Tomlin for so long. I'm interested to see what they'll have going on against this new league, Cleveland Browns and Todd Monken. I think Todd Monken gonna be all right. He ready over there. He got Todd Monken over there, and I'm thinking about Deion's kid over there and see how that development gonna go. I really don't know if they're gonna give him a shot or they gonna, if it's gonna be a team camaraderie. They gonna put chips in and see who's gonna be the quarterback, or they gonna put him on the pine again. We don't know. Todd Monken coming from college, it's a lot of talent right there, But the young kid Sanders, he took a lot of sacks in college, and he didn't take, he took off in the pros. He had a few weeks to learn and listen for a few minutes, but now with an offensive mind, Todd Monken coming across the freeway from Baltimore Ravens, they offensive coordinator. So, I know that Lamar is going to be sad losing him, but to see him 2 times in a division going to be a good reunion for him. It's going to be a sad situation. Another offensive coordinator, a whole nother system for Lamar. Hope he's very vocal on what he needs to succeed, but they should have did better this last year. All right. Now, the Bills and Joe Brady, that's going to be the hair that's going to be in everybody's ass this year for the NFL season. I mean, we waiting on them to do something. We praying for them to do something. They got the whole Bills Nation, Bills Mafia. They done broke all the tables, and we brought in Joe Brady. They believe in the Savior up there. I can see that. They really buy into the product that, it's coming. It's a savior coming. We looking for Josh Allen. We looking for now, Joe Brady to get together and pull out a Christmas miracle for us again. They broke my heart. They were supposed to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm so saddened by them. I don't have no more confidence in them. No more comments either. Y'all chime in and let me know what y'all think about it. Footballismoney.com. Y'all make sure to sign up 2026 season online. Check us out at footballismoney.com. Y'all lock in on Football is Money.
Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. I got something you might want to hear. Look at here. Everything that we do right here is in one place. Footballismoney.com. The podcast, it's on the website. The YouTube content, full episodes, breakdown, the shorts, everything, it's on footballismoney.com. No bouncing between platforms. No hunting for links, right? If you want picks, footballismoney.com. If you want to learn how to play fantasy football, footballismoney.com. If you want to compete in fantasy leagues with experienced players, footballismoney.com. If you already locked in and you just want confirmation, some tools, and a little structure, footballismoney.com. Energy drinks, podcast resources, spiritual alignment challenges, all at footballismoney.com. And if you want to book footballismoney.com directly, fantasy consultation, betting consultation, mindset, spiritual alignment, or if you just want to talk to yours truly, you can do that too. One platform, one ecosystem, everything. Football is Money is in one place, and that is footballismoney.com. I appreciate that, Tony. And you know, that's the point. Like, you don't wait for the season to tell you what's happening. You read the structure before it shows up on Sunday. All right? That's Football is Money, man. Now, let's lock this in real quick. The Football is Money $100 cash money giveaway. All right. So this is real simple. We're giving away $100 every month until kickoff, and then we'll be giving away something else. This is no gimmicks, no purchase needed. You know, it's easy. This is just our way of giving back to the people who stay locked in and support what we are building, right? So here's how you enter. Only thing you need to do is subscribe to the Football is Money YouTube channel and go to footballismoney.com and sign up for the email list. That's it. Once you're subscribed and signed up, you automatically entered in for a chance to win this $100. We will announce the winner right here on the show, so stay tuned in. All links are in the bio. All right, so make sure you get in, sign up, and good luck. I'm your host, they call me Boss. This is Football is Money, and we are.
That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to Football is Money. Find every episode and more at footballismoney.com.